Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children and bullies, welcome to ROH Sports. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, just got off of BR Live with a Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. Alright, 0 hour. We had 4 pre-show matches. We had Jeff Cobb versus Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. Just a nice little 5-minute match. I ended up giving it a 3 1/4 star. On the second pre-show match, we had Kazuka Takeshita versus Willie Mack. Willie Mack's on several shows this weekend. This match lasted a little bit longer. It was 9 1/2 minutes. It was one of the best matches. It was actually the best match on the pre-show, to be honest with you. Even though it was like short, it was just a hell of a match. Willie Mack, god dang, he's talented. I would love to see a faction somewhere. Willie Mack, Moose, find some other people to put in there. Kind of like a new Nation of Domination kind of faction. Takeshita get the victory here. I give it 3 3/4 star. Next up, we had Willow, Nightingale, and Miranda, Alize. Willow and Nightingale getting the victory. I give it 3 star. Not too bad. A 7-minute match. And then the final 0 hour match was Stu Grayson versus Slim J. It was okay. Stu Grayson representing the Dark Order. He's back with Eva Uno. I give it 3 star. Stu Grayson getting the victory. And then we start the Supercard of Honor out with one of the greatest matches of the weekend. The AAA Mega Title champion El Hijo del Vikingo going up against Komander. These two, along with Black Taurus, had a triple threat match at the Impact Multiverse of Matches, and that triple threat match was 4 3/4. This match was just as good, just equally as long. And guess what? Vikingo retained his AAA Mega title, and I gave it 4 3/4 star. One thing I'm noticing about Vikingo with his match against Kenny Omega, the match and a triple threat match, this match, his matches are kind of the same. He's almost got the same cadence through the matches. There's nothing wrong with that when you're that good. When you're just flying off 630s all around the world, walking the ropes the way he does. It's like, yeah, each match had the table spot outside. Each match had it's like, but I guess when you're that damn good, you can do that. But yeah, I give it 4 3/4. Next up, we had the Ring of Honor World 6-man titles on the line. We had champion the Embassy, Bishop Kaun, Brian Cage, Toyo Liona, with Prince of Nana going up against AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik. Now, there were some rumors that Brian Cage's contract with AEW was up as of this show, and that a rumor had it he would show at Mania this weekend and face Bobby Lashley. With Bobby Lashley winning the 100 Memorial Battle Royal, not having a match on Mania, Brian Cage retaining his World 6-man titles here for Ring of Honor, I don't know if he's leaving. If he does, that'll be a shock. I know, according to some things I read online, Tony Khan gave permission for Christian Cage to be at Mania, to be at the entrance for Edge. So if Edge want to do like the brewery type entrance or something, Tony Khan gave his blessings that Christian Cage could be there. So we'll see if that goes anywhere when Edge comes out for the Hell in the Cell. So the Embassy retained their titles. I give it 3 star. It was a good little match. AR Fox, Blake Christian, Metalik, High Flyers. The Embassy, not High Flyers, this Power game. Next up, we had Athena defending the Ring of Honor Women's World title against Yuka. Shaka Kick Seka. Athena, this may be her best match since her Ember Moon days, in my opinion. Yuka gave her a run for it. I thought there was a few times where I thought Athena was going to lose. And we had Athena retaining her women's title. I gave it 3.5. Next up, we had a very emotional Ring of Honor World Television title on the line with champion Samoa Joe versus them boys, Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe's family and kids were at ringside. It was almost setting everything up perfectly for him to win the title. But he had a hellacious match out there with Samoa Joe. Joe of old. That's what I took from this match. Just the fact that Mark Briscoe has never won any singles titles in Ring of Honor, only been tag champions, happened to relinquish the titles because of the Reach for the Sky ladder match, the loss of his brother. He went out there and put on a damn good match. I gave it 4-star. I may have overrated it. I don't care. I gave it 4-star. Champion Samoa Joe retaining his Ring of Honor World Television Championship. On the pre-show, we had a new announcer rejoining Ring of Honor. The one, the only, Nigel McGuinness, returning to Ring of Honor. Love having him on commentary for this show. It just felt so old school Ring of Honor. Having Nigel out there and Bobby Cruz, it's almost like it's so old school Ring of Honor, but yet it's an AEW version of Ring of Honor. So it was kind of weird. But we had Samoa Joe win that. I gave it 4-star. Next up, we had Hiroshi Tanahashi going up against Daniel Garcia. This was kind of more or less Daniel Garcia and his sports entertainer getting a pro wrestling show from one of the greatest of all time, Tanahashi. They went on out there and put on a heck of a show. It's almost like a teacher versus student kind of deal, and Tanahashi schooled Daniel Garcia. I give it 3.5. Tanahashi getting the victory. And then we had the Reach for the Sky ladder match. This match, we had the Lucha Brothers, El Mieta and Rey Fenix, versus Top Flight Dante Martin and Darius Martin, versus the Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, versus Aussie Open, Cal Fletcher and Mark Davis, versus La Faction and Glabele, Dralico and Roosh. Typical ladder matches in AEW Ring of Honor. Get cray. This match got cray. Real bad. It started off kind of weird for me. You had two teams in the ring. You had Kingdom and LFI, and you had everyone else on the outside grabbing ladders. Then they started kind of brawling with the ladders. You had Aussie Open and the Kingdom up on the ramp on stage. The Kingdom went to do J Drillers. Aussie Open turned around and did Tombstones. It's like, that's kind of weird for the ladder match. You had different ladder spots, and then you had the big spot where they set up 4 tables on the outside, 2 on top of 2. Then you had the ladder in the middle of the ring. You had the ladder going across. You had several back body drops on ladders, and you had the ladder going from the ringside over to the crowd. And there was a couple spots on there where somebody went. I think Mike Bennett took a spot through one of the ladders there. And then you had the big spot. You had Penta El Mieta and Dante Martin on the ladder in the middle of the ring. They came down to the ladder from the ladder standing up to the ropes. Penta El went to do, it looked kind of like a destroyer. Off the ladder, through the stack of tables to the floor. Dante's leg. One thing I saw online was it reminded me of Sid Vicious in WCW. I hope that's not the case for Dante Martin, but either his knee is fucked or he broke his leg. It was pretty bad looking spot, the way his leg caught when he came down. They got him out of there, obviously, but it looked pretty bad. But then we had the Lucha Brothers climbing the ladders and grabbing the titles. Thinking about all the freaking the Briscoe Brothers and Lucha Brothers matches. It was kind of really cool that a brother team could win the titles. Mark Briscoe came out to congratulate him. Mark had the original titles, and there was, I guess, a new set of a little bit different titles for everyone. I guess there was all kind of new titles given out. And so it was kind of cool that Mark Briscoe had the old titles. I'm hoping they let him keep those. But then FTR came out and congratulated the Lucha Brothers. Obviously, FTR, Lucha, Briscoe has had some hellacious matches over time. I get this match 4 3/4. I couldn't quite go 5 on it because there was some sloppiness to it. There was kind of a couple spots that you looked like they're supposed to happen that didn't really happen. Next up, we had the ROH Pure Championship on the line. We had Shibata from New Japan Pro Wrestling's dojo in LA versus Wheeler Yuta. Katsuyori Shibata is one of the greatest technical wrestlers ever. He trains all the young lions at the dojo in LA. He actually got hurt years ago, and I think it was a car accident, and he almost died. And ended up retiring from wrestling. Came back a couple years ago, did a match with Zack Sabre Jr. at Wrestle Kingdom, and he's kind of been doing some sporadic stuff. But now, he's your new Ring of Honor Pure Champion, one of the greatest mat-based wrestlers in the history of the sport. Shibata, your new Ring of Honor champion. I give it 4-star. I was good. I was entertained. I loved every minute of it. And then we had our main event. We had Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Title Line champion Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston. Edward Kingston, Claudio Castagnoli go back 15 years in Ring of Honor in Jakarta. They tagged together, they feuded. Claudio was able to go off to WWE. Eddie didn't. Eddie stayed on the indies. It's almost like Eddie was jealous of Claudio for that. Since Claudio's been back with AEW Ring of Honor, him and Eddie have tagged, they feuded, and it all kind of built up to this match here. The catch as cat can style of Eddie Kingston, just whatever he's got to do to get by. Claudio more methodical. These two went out and put on a fight, and that's what it was a fight. Hell, when you see Eddie Kingston hit a freaking Hurricane Rana, you're like, what the hell just happened? Yeah, I mean, it was that kind of, they were pulling out all kinds of stuff. Claudio retaining his title. I gave it 4.5. It's got to be, this is not Eddie Kingston's best match ever. I'll be shocked. Matter of fact, let's see if we can find some star ratings for Eddie Kingston previous matches. Let's see here. Probably have to go find some Meltzer stuff about Eddie Kingston. See if Meltzer's done anything with Eddie in the past. But I mean, I'm not saying Eddie's a bad wrestler. He's not one of those that you're going to think of a hell of a racist star rating on him. He's not that 5-star kind of guy. He's just a fighter. 4 1/4 Dynamite in the ladder match. 4.5. Him and Jay White battle in the Valley. 4.5 him and Ishii. And I guess he's had some 4-star matches. 4 3. Blood and Guts. 6-man tags. Eddie and Ishii. Capitalism. Okay. Meltzer's lost his freaking mind. Yeah, some of these Meltzer's lost his mind. They were good, but they weren't that damn good. But yeah, 4.5. Claudio getting the victory, retaining his Ring of Honor title. So where Ring of Honor goes from here, we got the weekly show on Honor Club. We got Honor Club back, thankfully. So yeah, I think Ring of Honor is in a good place right now. Will we get back to the original Ring of Honor with the Bryan Danielson, CM Punks, and all that? Probably not. But we're going to have a version of that. We're going to have a cool new version that's going to put on great shows like this and have their weekly show and make us want more. Hopefully Nigel's back full-time as the announcer. That'll be even more cool on that vintage Ring of Honor feel. Alright, that is the review of Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor 2023. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. It's a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader sports channel content.